Hello, can everybody hear me? Hi, hi. Actually, okay. I think we're good. Hello, chat. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are having a great day. And in the meantime, let me just get my judges together. But pretty much, yeah. We are ready to go live. And where's chat? Oh, there we go. I was looking everywhere for chat just now. But there we go, we found them. Also, hi Soham, welcome to the stream. And hello, name I can't read, welcome to the stream. And hi Kai, welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are having a good day. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here. And my judges are waiting on Discord right now. They will be with us momentarily. But right now, actually, I just want to quickly go over what we're doing today for this live stream. For some of you who don't know, I have done this Webtoon Rose live stream since last year. So basically, last year I did it with Jess and Chains, but this year I decided to invite another person called Skits. He will be joining us later. And yeah, I hope you guys just have fun, you know, and I hope you guys enjoy what we have to say, and maybe you'll learn something from the stream as well, right? Also, hi Boya, welcome to the stream. But yeah, and fingers crossed. I don't know if this is actually gonna happen. I'm gonna try to keep the stream for 2 hours and a half. You know how these streams are usually. So I will try to keep it for 2 hours and a half, but if like maximum, I would say it would be about 3 hours. Hopefully not. But yeah, the Webtoon rules for this year is also gonna be somewhat different from last year. Last year, I had 3 comics picked, and I only had 2 other judges to critique on these comics. But this year, we have an extra judge, and I'm gonna pick an extra comic to critique as well. These comics are not necessarily from the Webtoon contest. Literally just anyone who submitted into the Webtoon Rose submission form, anyone could be anyone's comic at this point. So that's the thing that's gonna be the same as last year, just an additional comic and an additional judge. And this year because we only have about 2 hours and we have 4 comics to go through, okay guys? I will only be talking, well, if the judges have more to say, of course, I will let them interject if they have any more critiques, but otherwise I will only talk about big issues that I feel the comic is facing. And yeah, probably gonna be like 2 issues that the comic that we're critique on is facing. And finally, I will only be reading maybe 1 to 2 episodes of a comic, depending on the length, because we have a tight stream and I can't read all the episodes for some of these comics because some of their prologues are long, some of their episode 1 is long. So based on the length, I can only read about 1 to 2 episodes of each comic. There is one comic though that I am planning to read 5 episodes because quite literally it is very short episodes. So stay tuned for that. And now actually, also hi Chainsaw, hi Della, welcome to the stream. Now I'm gonna hop on to my judges real quick. Let me put on my mic real quick. All right guys, I am gonna unmute you guys now. You guys are gonna go live in 3, 2, 1. Hello judges. You guys are live now. Yep. All right. I also actually wanted to introduce everyone real quick. Let me switch real quick. But yeah, just like I said in the beginning, this year we have an additional judge and his name is Skits. And if you guys didn't already know, last year we had Hobbish, Comics, aka Jess, and also Chainsaw joining with us. And yeah, let me just quickly introduce the judges for you guys real quick. I know a lot of you have already heard about them, have already known who they are, but doesn't hurt to introduce again, right? First off, we have Chainsaw. This is basically his avatar, and he has a YouTube channel, by the way. He now has 1,000 subscribers. You know, he also makes videos about Webtoon, webcomics, and stuff like that. And he mainly focuses as well on animation, 3D stuff, and he even has a comic himself. So it's called GXT. If you would like to check it out, check out his channel, and yeah, check out his comic. Chainsaw, you wanna say hi really quick so they know your voice?
Hi everyone, happy No Gay Sundays.
There you go. That's Chainsaw basically. But yeah, let me move on. Next to Jess really quick. Jess, also known as Hobbish Comics, is our fantasy supernatural girl with the comics. Basically, she has this amazing comic called The Curse of Bailey Bog. If you haven't seen it, she entered the Webtoon 2025 contest with it, and it already has 15 episodes, so that's a lot for you to read through. And yeah, if you're interested, yeah, this is Jess's voice.
By the way, not to interrupt, but Goth and Boya said that our audio is a little low. Need chains and skits.
Okay, let me raise you guys really quick. Thanks for the heads up. Appreciate it. But yeah, I can only rely on you fellow viewers to help me with the audio and stuff. So please let me know if anything else needs to be tweaked.
Goth says our voices are as low as our avatars.
Oh, wait, is your avatars not moving?
No, they're moving.
Okay. That's good. All right, guys, gangs, chat, let me know if that helped. I raised their voices. Let me know if it needs more. But yeah, let me just continue with Skits now. Skits is our new guest judge this year. And Skits has actually made a comic with us on Webtoon Jab that I also hosted this year with everybody. If you guys haven't seen it, it's just a compilation of one-shot comic jams, one-shot comics that I hosted on Discord, and Skits was in one of the teams called Team A, and he helped work on a comic called Cooked. It's very funny, and you know what? Just go check out the comics if you have the time. All 4 comics were really good and definitely worth checking out. But yeah.
We 3 were on a team. Oh god.
We were.
Yeah, we were one big team.
Everyone was in this team, to be honest. They were all in Team A, actually. That is something I just realized right now. But I appreciated your comics. It was very funny. Lots of memes. But yeah, that's pretty much our judges. Oh, sorry. Skits, can you say hi to them so they can know your voice?
Hello.
That's
viewers.
right. That's the Australian accent, y'all.
Yeah.
The Australian the only Australian in this weird mixed match of a group. But yeah. All right, let's move on. And also, chat, feel free to also help us critique these comics if you have any critiques, but please let it be constructive criticism and not just be like, I don't like the art, or I don't like the story. Like, that's not helpful, okay? So if you have anything, even compliments or any type of critiques for these comics, I think it will be very helpful to them. And yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be exciting. And also, hi to Mecca, welcome to the stream. I think we can move on, right? You guys ready? What do you guys think?
I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
Are we ready to roast our first comic? Let's see. Let me check if everything is in order. Yeah, I think everything is good to go. Hell yeah. And again, chat, if the audio suddenly raises or dips or anything, let me know real quick. I can fix that for you guys. Don't let this be a horrible listening experience for you all, okay? All right, let's move on. All right, first comic. I've decided this year I would just give you guys the introduction of the comic before revealing which comic it is. Adds more, right? Adds more mysteriousness to it. All right, let's talk about the first comic. The introduction that they wrote for their comic is basically Evelyn thought studying in London would be a dream until a sinister spirit takes over her body. Her only hope is Abaddon, a century-old teen curse with dark secrets, okay? Thrown into a world of possessions, ancient rituals, and hidden realms, the two must unravel the mystery before Evelyn loses herself forever. Let's see who the comic is. The Curse of Abaddon will be our first comic to roast today. And the author of this comic is Abaddon is OP. Okay, very subtle. And yeah, let's talk about the thumbnail really quick. It's an action fantasy comic, and it has this masked man with a sword. It's not really giving a lot of face right now. And if you guys know how I feel about thumbnails, I feel like face reviews, like a YouTuber thumbnail, is quite important. It's like a brand thing. So I think you can consider unmasking the person's face or just add another character instead, like Evelyn. Evelyn has a great face. She would be great for the thumbnail. But that's just a suggestion if you would like to stand out and whatnot. And yeah, let's move on to reading the comic. I mean, do you guys have anything to add for the thumbnail? What do you guys think about what I just said?
Yeah, I was going to suggest Evelyn for the thumbnail as well. But they can also use the last panel of the devil, I think. When we go through it, they could use that as a thumbnail as well.
Right? He has so many good characters in it. I don't know why you chose a masked person thumbnail. I thought the devil would have been nice. I'll show you guys the Satan real quick, actually. Yeah, that one was really good. The Satan one is really good.
Yeah. I think it could use some more contrast. Like even a black background behind the character here would be better. Would be an improvement because because when they're so small on, like when you're reading on a phone, the contrast really helps it pop.
True. All right, there you go. If the artist is watching, and let me move on to now reading the whole comic. All right, this is prologue of The Curse of Abaddon. It's 1864. I can't read this. Neuschwanstein Castle.
You're supposed to be German. That should be easy for you.
I can't. I'm
Neuschwanstein.
trying.
I think it's
Okay.
Neuschwanstein, yeah. A holy mission and a forsaken place, okay? We get this really cool side panel of a bit of the world building and whatnot. And the dead don't march. They answer, okay? Some really, really cool undead people. And then we come into this really satanic ring and whatnot. And there's all these people around it. Be not afraid, the guy from the thumbnail says. For we do not come to cover in dark, but to rip it apart. He's got like this little purple flame. By the covenant of fire and the laws unwritten, let the gate be undone. And there's like 3 knocks. He screams.
Oh, wait, where did you get the goat head from? That's crazy.
The goat head? That's
You don't carry a goat head in your pocket?
He was just carrying a goat head with him the whole time.
It's a summoning chainsaw. It's a summoning. He says ignite, man. He says ignite. See? Lucifer's own torment, okay? The flames of Cocytus? I don't know. The cold fire of Ninth Circle.
I'm so glad I don't have to read this comic live. I'm so glad, bro.
And then we see a really, really cool side panel of the undead again. By the will of the one above, by the hands that shape the fire, he knocks 3 times. And then we get into this like little fire scene. Bestow upon them a befitting punishment. Just a bunch of effects, okay? You guys can see it. They fear Lucifer, yet they die by the Lord's flame. After all, the wages of sin are never paid in coins. He does 3 more knocks and the gate opens. And then we get a little view of the castle. The ritual took more of me than I expected, the person says. The masked man says, follow my light. Oh, I need to do a voice acting for this. Follow my light. And then they go up the stairs.
As well.
They go up the stairs. I was expecting someone like you. Both of you display great power. As an understanding host, I shall speak your language. The pressure...
This is yuuning's report.
Guys, no. The pressure is definitely him. Okay? The Dark Lord, Lucifer, Morning Star. And there we go. We get a little thumbnail of the Lucifer. Like I said, this could be a great thumbnail even. It's quite scary and foreboding and very cool. There shall be no complaints in maintenance of guests. And it's like super creepy, okay? And there you go, actually. That was the prologue. And yeah, feel free chat to let me know what you think of the prologue. But I will have to move on to episode 1 really quick as well. In the present day, England, all right, we see some 3D assets. Evelyn got a moment, this pastor says. If this is about my essay, it's not, okay? You are sharp, Evelyn. He closes in. Both you and Marianne are too sharp for this village. What do you mean? The academy in London, they train people like you. Exorcism, you think we are ready? If anyone, it's you two. But speak with Marianne. She has been missing her classes as of late. Yeah, I've noticed. I will relay the news to her. And there's something wrong with Knaresborough, basically the town they're in. It's practically a ghost town. Empty streets, missing people. Something's just not right. And we get a little facial expression like, huh? What's with the commotion on the bridge? Another one? Isn't it the 3rd one this week? And then this text got clipped in. It says, yeah, this town is really cursed. And we see a red-haired girl. Marianne, she calls out. It's my brother, Evelyn. He's gone forever. I think this is the red-haired girl speaking. I didn't know that she was speaking, but there you go. And then she turns to see, I think that's a dead body, or yeah. Those marks, she says. Do you see them too? Of course I can see them. Evelyn, the church, it knows, and then her eyes just glow red. What? The church would never. Don't. You think they are innocent? Look around. This village is cursed. We are cursed. And they are hiding it. She calls out to her like Marianne waits. Evelyn will leave this place after my brother's funeral. My family's done with this place. My advice? Leave this place. Way to tell me to leave in 3 ways. Hell yeah. And that
Get your ass out of here.
Get your ass out here. That's the message of the whole episode. Pretty much, yeah. And that was episode 1. And there we go. There is another episode, but unfortunately, I can only have time to read the prologue and the episode. So just based on what you guys have seen, we will just move on to the critiques for that. And chat, feel free to also give some critiques if you have any. But yeah, for me, personally, the first big issue that I saw from this comic, before that, great character and world building, right? I think you guys have seen the art since the beginning, like with the undead and just like all the effects and whatnot. It's really solid, and it seems like it has a really interesting world building going on. However, I do feel there is a lot going on here, but there is no context to what is going on here. Like, I can't help but feel confused, I would say. So I think what I want to ask my judges is that, what do you guys think about the pacing overall? Like, you guys read it with me. Did you feel the same way as me, just like a bit confused and whatnot?
Yeah, it's not a lot to go on here.
Right.
But yeah, just obviously just spreading them out a bit, letting the audience kind of absorb what exactly is going on, because they're just kind of hopping around from place to place, transitions and everything. It just it's too much all at once. And yeah, I mean, just using the gutter space and stuff like that, just to space things out a bit more. Also, giving a bit more context for certain things would be nice, because yeah, it's a lot going on. There's a goat heads,
Like,
side panels, fucking
yes.
bad 3D. You know what I mean? So
And
just
why do
need to
you
sort
have
it
to
out.
knock 3 times for the gate to open? I just want to know.
Yeah,
Just a bit of context would be nice. Yeah. And oh god, I also feel there seems to be a huge transition, like jarring transition from prologue. I know usually webcomic artists, they tend to want the prologue to be explosive, right? Like, you want to reel in the audience. But the transition from the prologue, right, to episode 1, what did you guys think about that?
Yeah, the end of the prologue felt kind of abrupt. Like, it felt kind of abrupt, and then it switched over to just a girl in a city. It was pretty jarring.
Especially after all the epicness in the prologue. But I still think with a bit of tweaking of maybe just adding more context in the beginning of episode 1, like especially like if you're doing a time skip, because now it's like present day compared to that one. Even just showing what happened in between before the present day, I think that would definitely be helpful as well, yeah. But also, let's talk about their art really quick, okay? What did you guys think about, I mean, now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't seem too bad, to be honest, but maybe just a minute, what do you guys think about it? Like, is it a bit too jarring or anything? Is it just me?
Now the character art is pretty good, but the backgrounds need a lot of work. They need to find a way to kind of merge the two together somehow, because it just looks like placed assets. They didn't even like tend to it or anything. They just plopped it down. There you go.
Yeah, I think adding a little detail on top of that, of the 3D assets, would tie it into the story more. And like, for example, in the prologue, whenever the fire rained down, and then I guess it burned all the zombies. Like, if they would have put like charred zombie bodies on the ground, it would have tied everything together, and it would have been more clear what just happened. Instead of just plopping down the castle, and not putting anything else in the background.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
or even just maybe even less detail could help, because I feel like it's kind of this weird mix of a lot of detail but with simple shapes, which also makes it kind of weird. So yeah, I don't know. You have to pick one. You can't have both. It's gonna look weird.
True. And what did you guys think about those insane side panels, though?
Yeah, stop that, please. Don't do it. Don't do it anymore, please.
It does look cool on the desktop, I will say that, but I think on the mobile, especially this scene, right? Like,
yeah,
how am I reading it? just something to know, yeah.
If you want to convey like a large landscape, try to do it on a vertical scale rather than horizontal, because you're just gonna end up breaking your viewers' necks every time they gotta look at something cool.
True.
Yeah.
But I think overall, right, that's pretty much it for this comic. I just think,
Also, one more thing. Make your girl Evelyn thick, okay? And I see what you're trying to do. Don't think I didn't see it, okay? I saw the one panel where she's looking back. You're trying to do something there. Go all the way, my guy. Big titties, fat ass. Go all the way. That's what I say.
I don't know about that, Chains.
like, let's
I see
go.
what he's trying to do, okay? Don't think I didn't see that.
I want to say that I really loved the religious tie-ins in the prologue. Like, I like the reference to the fact that like Satan would speak like Enochian and not English, and there was a biblical reference in there, like the wage of sin is death, or they said the wage of sin is not paid in coins. That's like a biblical verse, and I really liked that. That was really a cool tie-in to the religious aspect of the story.
I do agree. And let me just look at chat really quick. Also, hi Sean, welcome to the stream. Hi Nico, late, but okay, you made it. But yeah, let's see, what did Sean say? The 3D assets are jarring, especially since the characters are so well done. I agree. I would prefer imperfectly drawn backgrounds that unify it a bit more. That's a very interesting take. And Boya says, I don't mind side panels. I, for example, use side panels. Okay, so it seems to be...
Boya! What the fuck?
It seems to be a perspective thing, right? Boya doesn't seem to mind it.
Sean had a really good tip up there. He said whenever you have a big jump from prologue to chapter 1, it's good to have at least one element to bridge the two, like a building would work, or an artifact, or a character.
Even just a quick timeline of the history of what happened in between. For sure. Yeah.
Maybe it just needed some more space, like physical space or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Della.
Just move the panels out of it.
Yeah, Della says the pacing is good. Weren't many transitions between things to like space it out, so it felt like a lot. Totally agree. Kai said, the world seems interesting, story context is lacking, but it does enough to keep you engaged, which I agree. Actually, you guys, we kind of all sort of agree right here. That's pretty cool, right? Also, hi, Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stream. But let me summarize, all right? Let me summarize this comic and just everyone's opinion so far, right? I think our biggest critique for this comic was the pacing, which everyone also mentioned in the chat. I feel like if you added a bit more transitions or just what happened between the past to the present, it will rope the audience in better into it. And the 3D is a good use for the whole comic, but just as Sean said, maybe, you know, we should just focus then more on the characters rather trying to integrate the 3D. You can always just blur the backgrounds. After you do one white scene shot, you can just blur the rest of the backgrounds and try to focus more on the character storytelling. But yeah, I still think this comic has a lot of potential. It seems like it has an interesting story, world building going on. But yeah, definitely need a lot of work with the pacing and stuff. Yeah. I hope everyone agrees. Yeah. Shall we move on?
Yeah, I thought the art was like, especially in the prologue, the zombies were so cool.
Yeah.
I do wish they weren't sideways, but I loved them.
Okay.
Really
the sideways thing seems to be a huge problem then.
It's just when you're reading on a phone, I don't know, there's something about it. It kind of takes you out of the story or something. It's like less immersive when you have to turn for me.
For sure.
But the art was beautiful.
Also,
just make Evelyn thick. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Then if we Gucci, then we can move on to the next comic. Hell yeah. Let's start with the introduction of the second comic. Jacob Young is an obedient boy who strives to be the best son ever. And with his friend's support, I should have added here Maki, he would become an e-boy, breaking him from the shackles of expected perfection. And there we go. Our next comic of the day is Me and E-Boy by X/B. I think there's an artist and an author for this one. It's a comedy, slice of life comic. And I mean, if you guys see what I see on the screen, it now has 30 episodes. And I will say really quick for these streams that I do with Webtoon Rose, unfortunately, right, I cannot go through all your episodes because I have to cover 4 comics and we have a lot to say. We're a rowdy bunch, okay? So that's why I can only do first, second type episodes due to time constraints. But in the future, I will maybe tweak this Webtoon Rose thing to consider critiquing the whole comic instead of just doing the beginning ones, because I know how everybody feels about their first panels, their first episodes and whatnot. It's very rough, but unfortunately, it is also what's going to bring the viewers in. That's why it's so important to critique the beginning. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about that. Let's move on to reading it. You guys ready? Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boya's losing her mind
Yep.
at the mention of an e-boy.
Really? Calm down, Boya.
Let me give E-Boy and start busting nuts, bro.
All
That's what
right.
it is.
Hell yeah. Let's move on to the prologue, okay? We start the comic with some trembly hands, all right? Perfect. Someone said, we don't know who. There's flowers. There's an old woman now. This gift is perfect, thank you. She says to this person, and this is a piano that says Yamato brand. And we see, I think this is Jacob, our protagonist. That piece was perfectly executed, boy, another man says. A perfect piece to end the night. More people. Very scary start. Jacob is losing it. He's like hyperventilating and shit. Do I have to be perfect for you too? And then in the distance of a shadow, we see a woman smiling. Jacob, honey, make sure you get a perfect score today. And yeah, more sweating and whatnot, and just scribbles of perfect, perfect, perfect. What is perfection? Eventually, I think this is Jacob screaming. And then we see a face close up and Tom. Basically, Jacob falls off the bed and he says, ow, all right? It's 6:45 a.m. and well, nice eyes over here. But then we go back to just pathetic little Jacob here. He says, I'm gonna be late, he screams. And he gets ready, he does his hair, his glasses, and then he rushes out of the stairs. There's toast.
Oh, look at that.
Why is the toast gray? We don't know. He eats the toast. That toast does not look appetizing. And then he leaves his apartment, slam. And we get to see his apartment a little bit. And yeah, this is a piano. This is some tables under the stairs. And we have a fridge that has a note and a picture on it. The fridge hums, and then this is a very extensive schedule, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m. Basically, he has everything done by the hour, even down to 5:15. Okay, that's crazy, bro. That is a very aggressive.
Schedule I want for you. You should have a schedule like that.
No, bro. I can't be me, bro. And he says, is this perfection? Am I perfect? Am I enough? Finally, he says. And there you go. Title card, me and E-Boy. That is the prologue, everybody. What did you guys think? I think that was great, though. For a great start, for sure. But actually, I wanted to read prologue in the episode, for the first episode of this. I forgot to mention that. So let me just quickly go through episode 1 as well. My bad. Basically, this is after he leaves the apartment. He's like running. My name, he says, is Jacob Young. He's running, he's catching the lift, he's waiting, it's not coming. I'm in college for communications, script writing for TV and stuff like that. He says, why? And then he does a little like cool moment. And then I guess this is the exit staircase. He runs for it. Let's see. I'm 20 years old. I share a birthday with my best friend, so we always celebrate together. He's standing on the ledge of a balcony, and well, yeah, and he jumps, and he survives, okay? He lands, and he's like smirking, but then he cries. He's like in pain and whatnot. I mean, I don't know which floor he jumped from, but
The top one. The top one right on top.
I
That's
don't know,
exactly where
bro.
it is.
I don't know how he survived that. But yeah, all my life I have searched for the meaning of perfection, and then we got a thick ass here. Till this day, I still don't know what that word means. Perfect. He's rushing. He screams Maki. Hey yo, Mr. Goody Goody. What's shaking? Because we got a girl with boobs. That's all we get. And where is this? Silver Creek Academy. I guess this is his college. He jumps in. I'll take you all on the journey. And then he says, I'm late. Ha, what do you mean? What do you mean? Late for class. Jacob, sweetie, welcome to my perfect life. Slams open. Everyone's like, what the hell? It's Saturday. Jacob, sweetie,
Oh, no.
it's Saturday. Everyone's like, hi. And then he's like, oh, fuck. And then that's it. That's episode 1. A lot of things were happening, I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot going on in the first episode. Reading the dialogue and then switching between monologues and them talking was a struggle. Just tad bit of a struggle, but for a story, I think it works. And yeah, I guess we can now move on to the critique session. But chat, what did you guys think? Just based off on first impressions. Did you guys enjoy that? Did you guys enjoy reading him? Bro thought he was him, lol. Is he Spider-Man? There's no perfection in adulting, true. The jump took me out of immersion, not gonna lie. Poyo, hello Poyo, welcome. He says parkour. Man, wasted a whole morning. I feel that. Hell yeah. Very relatable, right? Very relatable character. But now it's time to roast, okay? It's my favorite part now. It's time to roast. So, first of all, credit where credit is due. I really, really like the opening of the story, the prologue. It's very engaging. I think anyone who fights something like this can definitely relate. And the episodes are a bit short, but I think it's just nice. It's also just nice and just great character work, I would say, with just showing a bit of Jacob's past and then showing the him in the present where he seems to be a bit messy. I'm not gonna lie, like he's a bit messy, but when you see his house, it's like also just like bare and clean and whatnot. And then you see his schedule and then it's like all jam-packed and shit. So that definitely says a lot about the character, which I appreciate. And yeah, I think people are quite invested, right? I think people find this protagonist very relatable. And yeah, I think let's move on to my first critique of the day though, for this story. I will say, like I have said a million times, the prologue is done well. Pacing is also not too bad, but I do feel it can be improved a bit more, just a little bit more. What do you guys think about the prologue now that you've read it? Do you guys feel, is there anything you can change about it before I mention?
I would quickly just jump in and say that as much as I really do agree with yuuning, and I think the prologue was fantastic, I think it's always great in comics to have to not so boldly tell the audience what the primary conflict of your character is. You know, I think it's really good, the visuals, but I think the word perfect is implied through the actual imagery rather than like so many times saying the word perfect. It's probably done about like 70 times. I don't think anyone can read that without actually realizing that yes, being perfect is the problem. I think the visuals on its own is strong enough to imply it.
True.
Yeah. Be a little heavy-handed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree with the show don't tell phrase. That one is quite important, yes. But yeah, do you guys have anything else for the prologue to add? Or shall I move on to the art critiques? I think story-wise, there isn't much to say, right? Because not much is happening yet. But I do actually have a lot to say about the pacing and the art later. So if you guys want to talk more about the prologue before I move on? Anything else?
I really like the
No,
line work. It's really clean, but a little bit messy. I don't know. I'm drawn to the line work. It's lovely.
Yeah, it makes sense, right?
I'll also quickly jump in and say for anyone who has like drawn even like one chapter of a comic, you can really appreciate having some scenes with some like nice full body drawing, nice little background, and then the scene right afterwards, it's a funny expression, you know, a bit more toned down. It works in a story sense and also probably saves you a bit of time.
Yeah.
True. And I actually saw a couple of critiques on the chat. Let me just read them now really quick before we move on to the art section, right? Sean says, the genre is not obvious to me, not necessarily a bad thing, but could make finding an audience harder. What was the genre again? Oh shit. Even I don't
The
quite
genre
remember.
I would say is slice of life
Okay.
comedy,
All right.
I think.
And then, let's see.
Yeah.
Boya agrees with Sean. That's why I asked if it's either BL or fantasy action. And pretty good, Della says. 10-10 for that piano alone. That could heal me. Okay. Like the noise effects, Boya says. Gives the prologue flashback effects, right? Yeah, these are pretty cool. I think internally we feel how he feels. That's why I think Skits mentioned, honestly, the visual is enough rather than just repeating the words and whatnot. And then Della says maybe it's a bit bland because MC feels, that's how the MC feels. Actually, a nice way to transition to brighter colors, or the MC finds life more fulfilling, I guess. Right now, I guess they don't want to show, I mean, if I were to assume, I guess the author doesn't want to show that he is truly living his life yet, right? Like he is, in the prologue, he is still somewhat messy, like with the bit and whatnot, but he's also a very organized person. So it's like chaotic mess, I guess. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, right, guys? You guys have anything else to add? If not,
Maybe it shows that he's like externally organized, internally chaotic. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's a good
yes,
take.
yes. That's a good. That's a great way to say it. I was trying to find the words, but then I was just like, okay, let's just move on. Didn't come to me. But yeah, I want to now move on actually to critiquing the art because, like I said, the story, just now we read, isn't too bad. Maybe some tone issues of like suddenly it being too serious and then suddenly it being too comedy and whatnot. But yeah, let's go to the art really quick. I would say the art is amazing, right? You guys have seen it with me. The lines, the colors and everything, the actions even. But I feel it could use a bit more finesse. For sure. The art can always be better. And we are trying to help and critique, even though the comic seems to be doing well in itself, but we are here to critique. So if I were to critique on the art, do you guys have any points for the art that you would like to say?
I think there's just some points where the perspective is kind of off.
Do I show it in which episode or anything?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few panels, but I think you can clearly see when he jumps off the balcony and he lands. You can see he's got like his hand kind of looks weird.
I see.
Kind of look like he's just got a claw going or something. He got a tiny hand. His
I
hand's
see.
shrunk.
Okay. So mostly a bit of anatomical issues. All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
But then again, this
It's
is their like
nothing-
first, few episodes, so like normally like by the episode 30, they probably ironed it out already.
Yeah. It's nothing
None
too
of
jarring
it
for me
comes
with the
up.
art.
Down it. You'll see it. You'll see it. It's where he lands and he's on the phone.
Where is it?
It's where he jumps over the gate actually. That's where he.
Ah, yeah, the gate, not the balcony. This one?
Yeah.
He says I'm late.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
one.
I see. You mean this little hand here? Okay,
The claw.
understandable.
Oh yeah.
True. Maybe you would need some references for this pose. It is quite a complicated pose, but not too bad, I would say, as long as I can understand it. But yeah,
Honestly,
So there's just moments like that in the comic here and there, but it's not noticeable. Only if you're looking
Yeah.
for it, you'll find it.
I see.
Yeah, we were looking
um,
to critique, so probably a
Yeah.
normal reader wouldn't notice.
yeah.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add for the art?
I really liked the art, and I like the
Yeah,
gray
no.
tone. That you know, that somebody pointed out in the chat, the gray tones. I really like that.
Yeah.
Just how gray his world is and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be, you know, compared to his life later, is probably gonna be more colorful, and I think that's cool.
That would be nice, right? I hope that we reach that point in the comic for sure. But as the going goes with the first episode, I do actually have some stuff I want to say real quick. Maybe let's go back to the prologue actually. So, this whole sequence is great. But let's go to the apartment. I just have a slight critique for the apartment environment that you have given Jacob. I mean, if the artist is watching. First of all, like I said, when I was reading that is one bland ass toast. And it could be intentional. You are trying to show a bland world that Jacob lives in. Not much goes on. Like, you have a great apartment, but there are no real decorations here, right? You got a piano that shows he still maybe plays the piano. But then we come to this awkward little panel of just some stairs and this table that just, I don't understand what you're trying to show us in this panel. Maybe if you added one photo frame, or just, you know, if he has like a bit of an OCD issue, like a cleanliness issue, you add even one like bacterial soap or anything, even a sink. Okay, otherwise I don't know what you're trying to show me with this panel. I just find it very odd when I was reading it first. And we come to this refrigerator. There's a bit more personality here now, right? There is some decorations compared to whatever we just saw before. We got a picture, which is, I think, I would like to see it up close, to be honest, but I think it's just the thumbnail. And then we see his obnoxious list, okay? These are great. More of this in the comic. I would like to, if you're gonna do 6 panels where a character is not in it, just to show me the world building, I would like to see more details. I would like to see his favorite bed sheets, his little family photo frames, if any, or just, you know, you can be a bland person But a bland person also has some sort of personality and details that he would like to have. Even a coffee machine, like maybe he likes to drink coffee, or tea bags, maybe he likes to drink tea. So that's just one of another critique. A big critique from me is if you're going to show a bit of his apartment, just 5 extended panels, show me more. Not just this, more of this refrigerator thing, I would say.
I think it could be a character building moment to have like a wall of like post-it notes or something, maybe.
I would like that.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say that it seems somewhat purposeful to have about like 5 panels of this apartment with nothing in it. It could be a reflection on where he is right now as a person. Maybe he's empty on the inside, empty apartment, you know, minimalistic lifestyle. I think things like this, when it comes to comic, is really up to interpretation. To the reader. That's the great part about it. You know, it could come back 30 chapters later and his apartment's full of random stuff that you didn't see before to like reflect growth. But you know, it's up to the readers.
For sure. Maybe just for me, yeah, I think I would like to see more, but again, it could be intentional, right? Maybe the author is intentional. He wants to show how bare, minimalist his apartment is. But yeah, again, maybe this is more of a opinion thing, but just a little critique from mine. And I mean, we could also look at chat real quick, right? That's pretty much, to be honest, what I have to say for this comic. Otherwise,
he gets a glow up in the future. He's like fucking blonde and shit. Like, what
oh,
the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, he becomes an e-boy, right?
I have read the whole thing, and it's a good read. It's an enjoyable read, honestly.
Yeah.
I
think if you guys, all these comics that we critique, go check them out if you're interested in what's happening. Like I said, I can't do all their episodes. I just don't have time for that. But, you know, this is a great introduction to their comic. And if you guys like it, go support them, go subscribe, go comment if you like. But yeah, let me just look at chat real quick. Sean says, I will like the artist to go more stylized as opposed to more realistic. Right now, it kind of feels like it's in the middle. It can work, but I think there are stronger cartoonists at this point. Yeah, I think they're better at being more like hee funny, like
really,
meme, right?
They really pull on their expressions a lot harder as well, like from a more cartoony type side. So I think that is actually a good idea. Lean on it more.
For sure. And Boya says, one thing about the speech bubble, I see that some texts don't exactly fit or properly place inside it. Just a nitpick. I agree. I wasn't going to mention it because I don't find it a big issue with the speech bubbles, but definitely if you want to improve in the future, maybe we like even something like this hey yo, Mr. Goody Goody, you know, you can kind of tweak this to make it fit better, or even just lose the speech bubble, just have it just be bold fonts of just her screaming or whatever. But yeah, not a really too bad of a thing that makes you not want to read the comics. Della says, color bubbles make me pay attention to them more than the comic because of how bright they are. Basically, they pop out too much. That's true, especially when your world is a bit gray and dark, and then you got all these colorful ass saturated speech bubbles. That is a great critique, Della. That is a nice catch, actually. And let's see. Yeah, color is a good way to draw attention, for sure. And then, oh, boy, are you saying, what's an e-boy again? you can Google that, Boya. Okay, we got some people who's explaining it to Boya. That's good. But yeah. Is that all? Do we have anything else worth mentioning? I think that's...
Yeah, I think this one was the one that I had the least critiques. Like, It's pretty solid. I really liked it.
Yes, I also agree. I think this comic, you know, rough few beginnings of the episodes is so normal for webtoon comics. I mean, I probably revamped my first episode like 8 times. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but it is part of the hustle, especially if people are reading it from the start. I feel like revamping is something everyone can consider, especially for the first few episodes where it's rough, just to get the audience in, sit tight, cozy, without the art becoming too jarring, you know? But that's up to you, for sure. Up to you.
I really
Always.
liked that the author made us care about the character right off the bat. You know.
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
We also have this side character, Maki, but she hasn't really shown much of herself in the beginning. But I think if you read on the comic, she comes out of it, right?
Yeah, I guess I'll speak on this because I've Maki is actually the secondary character that will show up in chapter 2. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that today. And it's one of those situations where like a quick critique about Maki, I guess, would be you put a lot of emotion behind your main character and give us a big reason to care about him. And unfortunately, at times, the secondary character more or less will feels like a how do I say
Filler.
yeah, not it's more like a sidekick really. It's like
Okay.
this character is here to
Like a plot
push
device?
yeah, like a plot device. It's there to really push the main character out of their comfort zone. You know, when we have 2 primary characters, we want them both to have a bit more depth. So yeah, you know, besides that, everything else about this was really good.
Yeah, this is Maki, guys, by the way. You will, if you read the comic, you will be able to see her later on. And maybe you guys can try to fill in when, what Skits had just critiqued just now. Maybe you'll be able to understand. But yeah, unfortunately, like I said, I could only do prologue and episode 1 today. But feel free to go check the comic out if you're interested. Yeah. With that, I think I'm gonna move on. We are gonna talk about the third comic of the day. Let me give you guys a quick introduction to the third comic. Have you ever wanted to make a band, but you realize you don't know anything about music and band management? Well, fear no more, our singer Sek is here to show you how it's not done. Okay, that is the intro for our third comic called Notes and Nonsense by Skin Flower. Supposedly slice of life and a heartwarming comic. Yes, let's go. Let me start reading it. Now, this is the only comic today that I will be reading from episode 1 to episode 5. You will see why. It's super short, but you will see why. Let's start with the first episode, okay? First episode, good morning. We see Socks coming down the stairs, and I'm gonna assume this is Sek. Good morning, everyone, he says. And then we see a very jarring expression. It's like, oh, shit, someone is dead, okay? And then he says, run. And then that's it. That's the first episode. Now you will know why I'm planning to do 5 episodes for this comic, okay? But yeah, that's the first episode. Let's move on to the second one. And then we see a girl holding a spray bottle, spraying at the guy, the same guy that was supposedly dead. She says, stop being dramatic. And then he says, fine. Sek is like, what happened? I spilled some cherry juice. And he's like, okay, bro. And then he sees something, and there's like all these people cleaning around. He's like, what's happening? Okay? Someone just moped. It's summer cleaning. And then we see another girl just say summer cleaning, like so happy, yay! And we see Sek carrying 2023 stuff. He says, why did they pick the weakest one to carry all this crap? As he goes on the staircase, I think this is their attic. He switches on the light, and that's it. That's episode 2. Now, let's just keep it going, all right? In episode 3, he puts the stuff down, and then he sees an image on top of a box. It has a guy and a girl and a baby in it. He looks at Lily quite fondly, and then he notices a thing called wool. It's like, what is this? A photo book. And we get these this is quite nice actually. I like this panel. It's just like these details of what the images are inside the photo book and stuff like that. And it seems like they are a band. Who are these guys? And how do they know? What do they know? Oh, how do they know my father? My bad. I would prefer if the my father was in the same line as how do they know my father without it being separated. Okay, just a quick critique there, as someone who's reading it. But yeah, in episode 4, he carries the photo album. Hey mom, we now know that this is his mom. I found this in the attic. Do you know who these guys are? My dad seems to have known them well. Oh yeah, that's Wool. The what now? Your father's old band. Have I not told you about Wool? I remember telling you. Must have been your brother. No, you haven't. Were they any good? Yeah. And then I guess they go into a little reminiscing thing. And that's episode 4. Now, let's come to the final episode of this critique. Your father and his friends formed a band in their 20s. Okay, this is the band setup. They had a few problems at the beginning, but they made it through. They were actually pretty big. They had a few concerts, even toured the country. So what happened? Well, what always happens? They wanted different things, they had different dreams, so they disbanded and went their separate ways. But yeah, Sek is like in awe looking at it. And then we see a laptop that reads, starting a band, singer looking for bandmates, guitar player wanted, piano player wanted, a young man looking for company. And there we go. That is 5 episodes of Notes and Nonsense. What did you guys think of that, Chad? What did you guys think of that? It's more like Instagram comic strips. Okay, this is Boya's first.
That's a shot at you, Yuuning. Boya taking a shot at you.
Della,
That's crazy.
What's wrong with my punctuation, Della? And Boya says, I really like the art. Sean says, I'm all for managing a realistic workload as a creator, but these episodes are too short. Whenever you require your audience to click something, you risk losing them. True. I think it's kind of like a website thing, right? It's like, you want me to click on this website and you want me to sign up? Then, bro, I'm not gonna use your thing then.
I think the issue with the shortness is that in some of the episodes, like, there's not much happening at all.
Yeah.
So if you're going to make them that short, you need to make sure that something happens in each episode and there's a setup for the next episode that people want to click. And it's hard to do that in a really short episode to give the reader something and to give them something to look forward to in a really short format like that.
True. I agree. Nix says, it's to add dramatic effect, but you reveal something, you gotta build the atmosphere. True. There is some jokes or stuff that the author wanted to land in the beginning. Like, for instance, the first episode is this murder thing, right? Very sudden. But the setup, it's funny for a prologue, but I guess I don't quite care for the characters, so there really isn't any setup going on other than just, haha, meme. person did, not dead. That's all I got from this.
I kind of think it would be better if, like, it would be funnier if you got the punchline in the first episode too. You know what I mean? Like, instead of that, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to do the cliffhanger where you want to click the next episode. But I think it would set the tone of the comic better that it's a comedy if they gave you the whole joke. You know what I mean?
Exactly. True.
The best advice I can give this person: go check out Dalt's comic.
God, wait, don't don't insert
No,
someone's
no,
comic
not at
while I'm
all.
critiquing.
Like, his stuff is also short, but he has a formula, and you can see the formula and the structure.
True.
That's
Look, we can talk about Tout's comic in a bit. Maybe this is a reference that Notes and Nonsense can look to. But yeah, let me just continue reading what the chat says. They should release the episodes in batches, considering how short the episodes are. Like episode 1, part 1. I agree. Yeah, just anything to make the transitions longer, right? And I guess it seems Pantheon. Apollo is here. Hello, welcome, Apollo. Finally, Sean says the first 5 really could be one episode, and it would be great. After the dead body is a great place for the title card drop, and then just keep going. That is actually my biggest critique as well. Sean, I think, just pretty much worded it out. That was actually my biggest critique for this comic, is that nothing happens in these episodes. And I'm gonna move on to my critique real quick. I just thought, like what everyone mentioned, right? I get that the author is trying to do something explosive in the beginning, just this person who just died but did not die to reel people in. But again, the setup doesn't seem to work in this context, unless you keep going. Unless you keep going without me having to go to the next episode and shit like that. Like just what Sean said, the setup is someone is dead, and then it's like who died, and then it's just like title card, and then it's just haha, I'm not dead. That would actually work, I think. But yeah, and then in episode 2, they start doing spring cleaning, which again, I don't know if this is the right time after all of that. It just feels a bit abrupt to me. And in episode 3, it's mainly focused on him finding this photo book album of the band, right? And I would say if you merge episode 3 and 4, it would be a great episode, because after him finding this photo album, he talks to his mom about it. It would just make more sense to give context under the same episode, right? But I guess going forward, if the author wishes to revamp the comics and whatnot, consider merging.
Oh my god, bro.
Episodes.
Nerds get
if you
perks for
would
being
like
here.
to, but
Shushing face emoji.
otherwise, I still
Hugging
think you got
face
a great
emoji.
art style, and you got something going on here, right? It seems quite interesting, and I think people in chat and whatnot, you guys seem to enjoy it as well, right? Also,
Yeah, the art style is very poppy and it's very unique.
Yes.
Yeah,
Also,
looks great.
Sin, thank you for the $5. Nerds get perks for being here. Hell yeah. Thank you, Sin. Appreciate it. Boya says, wait, that's his mom? Yeah, I honest
Keep
to
Boyer
God.
away from the moms.
I honest to God, I couldn't tell as well. Also, holy shit, we got 10 new free memberships. Thank you again, Sin. What? Chainsaw got another membership. Tahir got another membership.
Oh yeah, I'm back in the membership game.
That's
Alex,
crazy, and I'm paying for mine.
Sean, congratulations. You guys won
Oh yeah.
the membership raffle. Thank you so much again, Sin.
It's
Appreciate
like my
it.
5th membership.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I don't even watch yuuning's extra content, bro. I don't know why. It keeps coming.
Thank
my way.
you for the support. But actually, my last critique.
Also, yuuning, did we get to split the super chat as well? Is that what happens in the collabs?
We can talk about it later, guys. We
I
can
wish I
talk
got
about
paid.
it later.
We each get $1 and some change.
Actually true.
Hell yeah.
Actually true.
Yeah.
I think that would make
For
sense.
the
We all get $1.
membership.
Hell yeah. But yeah, let me just summarize and just go through the last critique really quick for this comic, right? Overall, I don't think we have anything much to say about the art. I think the art is quite solid. You got a very distinct art style that is quite memorable. Especially these blue eyes. I'm not gonna lie, I was quite scared of them at first. Just like the blue on the usual whiteness of the eyes. But I know that this is right. This is an artistic choice. But yeah, story with the tone shift. I think we also mentioned with Chad just now. You are trying to make a slice of life, heartwarming genre. And slice of life does tend to have a problem of it just being a mixed bag of everything, okay? That's not a bad thing. It means anything can happen and there is no real linear thing, right? Just that in this context, in your comics context, it is quite confusing for someone like me as a reader to understand what you're trying to say in this story. Yes, it's a story about them recruiting a band, but if you're not gonna show me all of that in the first episode, I don't know what the rest is gonna be like. It just feels like it's a missed opportunity in the first few episodes to not get into the band thing. And yeah, I do feel there is also a bit of a slow burn to finding out about the dad thing. But I would think if you merge episode 3 and 4 into one episode, it would make more sense in this case. But I guess, other than that, my conclusion is that if you do wish to revamp this comic, consider merging them for sure. I would probably don't have to change much for the art or the story, but just pacing is the biggest issue here. And if you're not consistent in uploading these short chapter episodes, people will tend to lose interest over the comics because people are not going to click on the comic that they know only has 6 panels in it and nothing much really happens. They're gonna keep procrastinating, they're gonna keep waiting until they can binge, and then they will eventually forget. So this is what might happen in this case. But yeah, chat, what did you guys think? What did you guys think as well? And if the judges have anything to add, yeah.
I kind of wished, like you said, the pacing is a little weird and the tone shift between like the murder and then just like cleaning, family stuff. And then after this, it immediately goes to like a more, I think it maybe was supposed to be comedic where he's recruiting people for the band. And there's like some drama there, but it's a little dark tone for this kind of comic. So I feel like for me, the tone of the comic is kind of all over the place. And I wish that it would focus in on, comedy or heartwarming or, whatever they want it to be.
True.
Make it more focused. Yeah, maybe get to the hook a little faster, make it a little bit more focused.
Exactly. Getting to the hook would be very helpful in engaging with the audience quickly. Get them, capture them. They're Pokemons. Your audience are your Pokemons. You want to capture them as soon as the hook starts, You're like fishing, right? That's why it's called a hook. I don't know why I went into this whole hook thing, but yeah, that's.
We need some bait on that hook.
We need some bait on that hook. Let's go. That's the way to do it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The art is really cool though. It's so unique.
Yeah. It just feels like a missed opportunity, right? Just feels like a missed opportunity. With such great art, you can definitely do very well with this comic. But yeah. And
Just one quick thing. um, it's with making comics, it's super like interesting that it's more than just art. You know what I mean? Like great art, subpar story. You know what I mean? Can
Mm-mm.
still lose readers. And you know how art has fundamentals? Comics kind of have the same thing, where it's like a mix of art and writing. So always take a bit of extra time to really learn a little bit about your genre before jumping into these type of things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, really quick, just want to address chat. This is our third comic that we have reviewed. We have already reviewed 3 comics, and we will have our final comic review after this. But I also have some honorable mentions later, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope you guys are cozy. I hope you guys are doing okay. And if everyone is ready, shall we move on to the next comic? We good? Everybody? Chat? Yeah? Hell yeah.
I'm good.
We good. Very nice, very nice. Final comic of the day. This is their introduction. Let me put on my voice. Sent back in time with one mission. Kill the one responsible for the extinction of humanity. Why did I say that weird? Kill the one responsible for the extinction of humanity. But when Nova finally encountered her target, she couldn't bring herself to pull the trigger. Now that's an intro. Hell yeah. And there we go. The final comic we are critiquing today is called Nova Kill the Past to Save the Future. It's by Comic Art for Fun, and it's a sci-fi post-apocalyptic comic. There we go. Are you guys ready for the read-through? Hell yes. Let me just make sure
Woohoo.
chat, let me know if the audio is okay and everything. But yeah. Finally, right? We made it. We made it to the last comic. All right. This is No Matter What, and I think this is the prologue or episode 1, but I'm just going to call it episode 1 because they didn't specify that it was a prologue. But let's go. Episode 1. Oops. Oh no. We got spoilers. Okay. Oh, did you get my mouse? My bad, guys. It started scrolling by itself. But we start with the name Nova. And then we see someone in the eye, a POV, mother. And we see a girl hooked up to a machine. You can't make mistakes anymore. Yes, mother. The screen says, time machine ready for use, activate with lever. Tell me what you're going to do once you get to the past. Once Noah gets to the past, Noah will find the target and kill the target. So Noah is referring to herself as a third person. No matter what happens, no matter who my target is, repeat what I just said. No matter what happens, no matter who my target is, she repeats. And then she's like a bit stunned, and then she walks away. Noah looks at her sadly, and the scientist goes for the lever, but hesitates. You're leaving me, Nova. It's time for you to go. I'm going to push this lever. You're going to travel to the past, and you are never coming back. Okay. The lever clunks, and we see some blue light, and she's disintegrating, guys. That's a Thanos snap moment. I don't want to go, she says. I don't want to be alone. She cries, and then she disappears. Please, I want to be with you, Noah says. And the scientist, also aka the mom, cries. She walks in to hug. Don't leave me, Noah. I'm so sorry, Noah. Please don't forget about me. Noah says, I can't. Transmission in 10. Noah can never forget you, mother. Noah will never forget you. And then the mom cries like, no, no, Nova. And we get the title card, Nova. Alright? We see a blurry image that says Nova. And then we see, I think this is the mother, but in another timeline. Nova. She steps forward, she smiles. You came back to me. You're finally awake. She touches her face. You don't have to be scared, okay? I'll explain everything to you, sweetie. I'll do everything for you. But Noah doesn't say shit. She's like, mad, bro. Noah, say something to me. Speechless. Please, Noah, say something. You don't remember me. She comes to the realization, and then she cries. She steps away, goes back to her chair.
Just do something else.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought she was gonna do something else. That transition was like, oh shit, what's she gonna?
Yeah.
Just cutting her hair.
Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. I knew, and then yeah, that's where she cuts her hair. But my daughter, the hair cuts, doesn't remember being my daughter. And then we transition to a scene where there's a sky, there are hands. She says the sky. And then we get a long panel of her falling. I've never seen it before. And there's trees. And there you go, guys. That is the prologue of Noah. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Right? that was a lot. But for this comic, I'm actually going to read prologue and episode 1. Or in this case, episode 1 and episode 2. So let's continue real quick. We get a message, okay? This episode contains depictions of blood and injuries that may be upsetting for readers. So that's your trigger warning. If you don't like blood or gore, I can assure you this episode has a lot of that. So you can, just take note. The sky, we get a little flashback to the first episode. I've never seen it before, okay? Title card, Nova. And then crack. Nova wakes up to find... There we go. Nova wakes up to find her leg, stabbed by a tree branch. She's scared. She's like, oh, what's going on? She tries to stand up. It's like a very slow realization, okay, building up, okay, that something is very, very wrong. Okay. She looks behind. Wait. She looks behind the tree, right? She's like, I guess she's trying to get to the tree. She slides herself to the tree with the thing dragging on the ground. I don't know if you guys could see that. It's fucking painful, okay? To the point it rips the flesh, all right? She's like, oh my god, guys, there's so many close-up. There's so many close-up of the gore, okay? I think here she wants to throw up from it, and then she grabs her leg, and then it's like, she screams, and then she says, mother. Okay, everything hurts, mother. Please save me, mother, please. She cries, I need you. And then beep, beep, we get some sounds. She's like, what's that? What's that sound? And there we go. That's pretty much episode 2 of Nova. Again, unfortunately, I can only go through the first episode and the second episode of this comic. But if you guys are interested to find out more about this comic, feel free to go check it out. I think what we've seen so far, it's definitely a good hook and definitely worth checking out, right? But yeah, what did y'all think about that? Holy shit, that was crazy.
Oh,
Dark.
that was good.
That's a big shift from what we were reading before.
I will say it did that
I think
Um,
I should have moved this critique in the front instead of it being the last one because it feels too dark to be the last one. But I kind of like that this is the last comic we critique on because there's a lot I have to say for this actually. But yeah, let me look at chat real quick as well. What does chat think?
What were you gonna say, Skits?
oh, I was just gonna say that a lot of successful comics, like are ones where within the first like chapter or prologue, they establish a really strong reason for you to care about someone. You know, it's human emotion for you to care about something and then be interested what happens to that thing, whether it's like a character or something else. And yeah, no, this is a great example of exactly that. We care
True.
about this person. We're interested about what's going on. We want to find out what happens.
Good character-driven narratives, I would say for sure. And let's see, Nix says the prologue is interesting. I'm feeling emotions. That's a good sign. Hell yeah, that's a great way to put it. Hell yeah. And a lot of crying emoji from everyone as well. Sean
The
says,
shock and horror in the chat.
yeah, right? Sean says, great setup, really solid hook. Della says that was a great prologue. And let's see, what else? Viewer discretion is advised. Oh, you guys had no idea. When I first saw the comic, I was like, my jaw dropped. I can't believe there was just like 8 panels of just her dragging her leg and shit, okay? I knew someone getting stabbed through a stake. Oof. Oh. I can't handle this. Oh my goodness. Please no. Everyone's just screaming in the chat. Good lord. Yeah, the author was not playing with that warning. Really strong opening, Della says. Very impressive. That was really freaky, Nick says. I like the setup. The art style is simple but still enjoyable. I don't think I can fit all of my thoughts into one message, but one thing I feel mostly is how it got me feeling sad. That's very good. That's a very good way to summarize that. And Kai said, we went from heart tugging to pure gore in the span of 2 chapters. Poyo says the art eats. And yeah, this is solid. I might as well go read it. Hell yeah. Also Pantheon Apollo says art is a massive slay. That's right. But just like all the comics we've seen so far that have great art, great storytelling, we now have to move on to my favorite phase, which is the critiques. Like I said, everything is good, right? But there is always room for improvement in anything, really. Any comics, anything. So let's start critiquing Nova. I think as we mentioned, right? As what you guys have all seen, great prologue start. It's like super engaging. And the art style, arguably very clean, very concise. And I mean, look at this rendering here, right? Beautiful. So the artist definitely knows what they're doing with the art. But despite that, I would like to talk about the story really quick. Sorry. I want to talk about the paneling first before we move on to the story. I don't know if it's just you or me. I did get a little bit confused this part when Noah reappears. This is the beginning of it. And then after that, we cut to the mom again, where Nova reappears again. So this part got me a little bit confused. Nova is definitely different here, but just there seems to be a timeline issue thing, right? What did you guys think? Is it just me?
No, I thought it was confusing. Like I read it twice, and I read the whole story, and eventually it all makes sense. But I do think there's a lot in this comic of like flashbacks and the story traveling through time, and I think that it would be I think it needs more visual cues about where you are in the timeline. So maybe like events that are in the past or like a flashback, maybe just add like for example like a blue overlay or something.
Oh.
And then present time add a pink overlay or leave it, like as an example. It needs like a visual cue. And the story, like this hair cutting that she's doing is actually part of the visual cue. Like you're supposed to throughout the story you realize she has short hair at certain times and long hair at other times, so that you can tell where you are in the past or present. But I didn't realize that until towards the end of the story, and it was confusing. So, and I also think this flashback in the prologue, that all of the thing with the black background, that's a flashback. And I think it's the first time I read it, I thought that she sent Nova to the past and then she immediately reappeared and didn't have any memory of her. So like I feel like maybe the first episode or the first 2 episodes should be more linear, and then maybe start peppering in the flashbacks because it's a little confusing for the reader.
No.
What do you guys think?
For sure.
I would definitely agree. Visual cues always help.
Yeah, can I just say, you mentioned the mom's hair is longer here, but she arguably also has a bit of a long hair going in the time where Nova disappears. So visual cue with the hair wise, it's not as noticeable to me, to be honest. But yeah, she has a longer hair here, but I would just make it even longer, like dramatically long if you have to, depending on the time.
I don't think the hair makes it clear enough though.
Yeah, it doesn't make it clear enough for me, because she also sort of has a ponytail in the beginning and stuff like that, see? So
Just
we're talking,
gotta pull her hair.
yeah, if we're talking visual cues, just either super short bob hair and then super long hair. That's a good visual cue for sure. But yeah, now that we mentioned probably just the biggest problem of the story, right? Actually, Sean said something about lettering. Move beyond the oval bubble and it does you no favors, and try and shoot for a consistent font size for the dialogue. Go up when yelling, down when down when whisper if you must, but consistent. Actually, great segue to us now critiquing the art. After the story, we now want to talk about the art, okay? I thought the art, like we've seen, wonderful, really great expressions. I can see clearly the turmoil, and just like what everyone said in the chat, it made you feel sad. It did something, right? And I think, true, that the brutal lake part, right? There is a lot of this representation of what she's going through. Like, she had to suffer for this. It's great representation overall. I would maybe just cut back on the few of the gore, but I get it. You really want to try to show the turmoil.
I think you should add another stick. Add another stick in the other leg. I think that's what you gotta do.
Chains.
I just even it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chains also gets his episodes removed from Webtoon for being too gory, so maybe don't listen to Chains.
Now we know.
Add 5 more into one.
He a little jealous. This comic got the okay go, but his comic didn't get the okay go.
To be fair, this is more gory than the ones that I've seen of Chains that got taken down.
Oh shit! All right, then Chains, you can shut up then. This comic.
Add more sticks into my people's legs.
This comic is gonna end. Is gonna end Webtoon censorship. This will be the Webtoon. But yeah, I actually wanted to talk about the lettering part of the art and whatnot. And honestly, I totally agree with what Sean said. Do you guys have anything to add on the lettering?
Yeah, and I'm not sure because I don't remember, but I don't remember being distracted by the lettering in the later episodes. So maybe it's something that the author figured out. But yeah, in like the first episode, for sure, it's the inconsistent lettering. Like the size of the lettering goes up and down, and it doesn't fit in the bubbles well. So yeah, I think that's something, but that's kind of like a new artist, like a new comic artist common mistake. So it's hard to figure out lettering at first, for sure.
Yeah, I
So
definitely
maybe they
struggle.
figured that out later on.
True. I would assume, you know, as the comic continues, of course, your art style, your lettering, everything will improve. But since we are only critiquing the first 2 episodes and whatnot, just a
Oh
little
my
note for
God.
you, if you wish
I think
to.
it's like ripped in half later on as well.
Okay.
I gotta read this comic.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you got to read it. Read the whole thing. It's really cool.
Exactly.
I really enjoyed it, but I was confused whenever I started reading it about the moving back and forth in time and the flashbacks. Like, I was so confused for a very long time. Like, I wish the first episode at least was linear, you know, to really get your footing in the story before we start going back and forth.
That's true. But yeah, I guess to summarize, right? Lettering can be better. And also, just let me critique this one real quick. You have these computer screens, right? And the words time machine ready for use, activate with lever, that's fine. But if you would like to make the world building more immersive for us, I would just go on Google, go to any free stock image website and just pull anything, any type of technical looking things, right? And I would just slap it on the computer screen. Yeah, because right now there is this one panel where it says intermission or something. Transmission intent, like bro, like that is a bit jarring for me. I was taken out of the comic because of this, just, well, pardon me for saying, just a bit lazy of just saying transmission intent on like a screen.
Put Steam in the background, like downloading a game or something.
Or even just
Steam window
change,
in the background.
or even just make the fonts pixelated or something, right? It's a computer. Make it make sense, like a technical thing, because you got this whole setup, this great world building of her being strapped, you know, this metalness of the background and the environment, and then you got these computers that are just like just stating the obvious without like much going on. Yeah.
The font doesn't convey technology, is what you're saying.
Just a very nitpicky thing on my part, but I feel if you could just, if you would like to reweb, just any sort of weird technical overlay codes would make a lot of sense, for sure. But yeah.
I absolutely loved the art. I loved the glowiness of it. Loved it. And I like the gore. I really do. Like you said, there might be a few too many zoom ins on the leg gore, but it did make me feel kind of queasy reading it, and I really love that.
Zoom in. I think zoom in more actually. As a matter of fact, add more detail to it.
Yeah, just get banned. Just get banned completely.
Go all in.
For sure. Let me just go through chat really quick for any last minute critiques, if any.
Sean said that time travel stories are tend to be confusing, and it's a hard genre to keep clear even for the pros, and I think that's true.
Someone said that the stream is froze. Can we double check on that? Is the stream running?
Running on my side. Fine.
Yeah, I can see it on
my side.
Oh, okay. It could be.
They did say there was an ad in the middle somewhere.
Yeah,
so
that would freeze that. Yeah, sorry guys about the ads.
Guys. Premium.
Sorry about the ads, guys. It is part of the live streaming experience, unfortunately. But hey, join the membership, right? And you won't have to see it. Time travel. Oh, Sean?
Crazy
what
plug.
Yep, we got a plug. We got a plug, bro. Sean says really quickly here, time travel stories tend to be confusing. It's a hard genre to keep clear even for the pros. I agree. And let's see. I really
I
thought
already
those
read that, but it's okay.
I know, right? I
Kai,
don't say anything.
Tell me you weren't listening to me. Jeez.
Yeah. Alright, get her.
what
You
does
did it the
Kai
third time.
Kai says, I really thought those were sticky notes on the computer. No, bro, no, it's not. Yeah, this is why you need to add some kind of
You have to post
technical.
a sticky note every like every second that goes by. For the next second.
You just
For
rip it
real.
off and put another sticky note.
For real, for real. Also, oops, what? Oh, Webtoon just froze for me. But yeah, definitely need to work on the screens and stuff. Nix says it's best not to overcomplicate the story because the moment the author loses understanding, the readers won't know what's happening. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean with like the time travel thing, right? It could definitely, if it was more linear, maybe we would be able to understand it better. But otherwise, I would still say it's a bold move to try to want to incorporate the sudden time traveliness of it all. Maybe it's a decision made by the author for it to be so like
Yeah.
confusing, right? What do you think?
I do think it was supposed to be disorienting because you're piecing together the story from these little scenes. Whenever you read the whole thing, you piece together the story from these little scenes like a puzzle. But like I said, I just wish the first episode was more linear to get you hooked in, and then start throwing that in. Because I think if readers are immediately confused, it might be a turnoff. Because I thought that she went, like I said, I thought she went into the past and then immediately came back with no memory. I didn't get it until the second read through that that's not what happened.
Yeah. I mean, if Jess gets confused, I don't feel bad about getting confused as well, okay? So it works.
That's
It
a fair
works
statement.
out. It works out. If you're a comic creator and you're getting confused by another comic creator's thing, it checks out. that means it's really confusing because you make comics too. I just
It's
feel
your fault.
it's not. Please, don't catastrophize this, Chainsaw. But I just think definitely room for improvement in the future if you want to do this time skipping thing again. But yeah, that is all we have for these comics. And before you guys leave, I have a few honorable mentions to go through really quickly. Now, I just want to mention with these honorable mentions, also, before maybe while I mention the honorable mentions, chat, let me know what you think of all the comics, what you think of them so far. Like, do you have any last minute critiques? And which one was like, I don't know, did you like any of them? Would you consider checking them out? Let me know in the chat. I'll read them later. But right now, I just want to go through the honorable mentions really quickly. Just a quick note, these honorable mentions, I'm not going to critique them. My judges are not critiquing them. We are just going to mention them because they are worth mentioning, okay? Now, the first comic I want to honorable mention is called Denkeki Dead by That Nick Kid. It's a fantasy horror and it's basically about two brothers, a robot boy, his human brother, along with their best friend Ash. They're on the quest to find the mysterious lost city, but they will have to make it through the deadly robot zombie infested wilds in order to claim the prize. And the reason I picked this as an honorable mention because holy shit. I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing on my screen right now. That is an effort. So, like, I'm just gonna go through this comic really quickly for you guys. You guys can consider checking them out. I'm only gonna show the first episode, but like, yeah, guys, this is how the first episode starts. And if you guys don't know, this is based off like a traditional manga formatting, page formatting. So they're not really like separating the episodes like a webtoon format, but I think it still works out as a comic page thing. And yeah, I think the first time I saw it, I was just amazed by how clean.
And the only problem with that is the layout is gonna be on the phone when you're gonna read it. So
Yeah,
things are gonna
that
be-
will be the annoying part. But
Yeah.
if the author has decided not to go through with the paneling and stuff, then the art itself is still good enough to carry the story, I would think. Like just that first panel alone, where you guys just saw the whole mega city buildings, right? Is boggling. It's mind-boggling. It's bonkers.
Yeah. Art is beautiful, but Shane's right. When you're reading, most webtoon readers read on a phone. That's why webtoon focuses on the app whenever they update things and stuff,
For sure.
because most of their readers are on the phone. So
For
it might
sure.
limit your audience.
Yep.
I will say that like the art is really good. Like the dynamic poses, the composition shots.
For sure. For sure.
I would definitely say if it could be reformatted into a vertical format, right? Yeah, I think it would do like bonkers.
Exactly.
But yeah,
I think there's other sites on the out there that you can post like the traditional format out on. Maybe try those ones if you not with the vertical format.
What?
Yeah, like Manga Plus. Try
Manga
Manga
Plus.
Manga
All
Plus
right.
is pretty good.
There you guys go. Advice of the day: if you have a traditional comic, you would like to reformat it, you can consider Manga Plus, like Chainsaw
I
suggested.
think Global Comics does too, right? They have a traditional
Yeah.
format, and
Yeah.
Manga Plus has a bigger pool, so I would go over there. That's where like
I mean-
Naruto pieces over there, those type of stuff.
yeah. I mean, with comics, really, just bloody post them wherever you feel like. At this point, you'll get views anywhere.
yeah,
Find where it
true.
works.
For sure. But yeah, this is Dengeki Dead for you guys. Definitely worth checking out if you like the traditional type comics, black and white and stuff. I think the art is definitely worth checking out. And look at this monster. Holy shit. That's a great monster design. Very scary.
Yeah.
The black and white is so well done too. Like you never get lost. Really, like you can see everything super clearly. Sometimes that's hard to do with black and white.
There are values and there are contrasts.
Yeah.
But do they get a stick stuck in their leg? Is what I want to know.
Yeah, where's the gore? I mean,
Yeah, I want a stick in the leg.
There you go. There's
Calm
the
down, you
gore.
maniacs.
There we have it. It's subtle.
Yeah, imagine that thing jumping at you.
I'd poop them.
We got some gore.
What?
I'd poop them.
Oh,
Damn.
and we end the last
Didn't know you
panel
move like that.
with this. God damn. This is a huge cyborg. It has 60 pages for the first episode, but like I said, if you reformatted it, it would make more sense for it to be like a prologue, episode 1, episode 2 thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it for
The
the
monster's
first.
scary.
That's the first honorable mention, Dengeki Dead. And my second honorable mention is called The Spinner's Nocturne, and it's by Nyx Whispers. Oh shit. Bruh. I do not have it open. Sorry guys. Let me go put them in. Please, Webtoon search
Chains.
bar.
Distract the audience.
It's okay, I found it.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
The intro is Little Star, come to me, free me from these shackles. For as long as she can remember, the Fae Lyra has lived in solitude, hiding from the world that once Fae dead. Loneliness is safer than death until she chooses to follow the achingly chanting voice from her dreams. That is when she meets her demise and a new heartfelt hope. Okay, So keep in mind, it's a fantasy romance, and the reason I picked this as an honorable mention because I was also very impressed by the art. And yeah, just here you guys go. This is episode 1 called The Apparition. We got this little cool monster in the woods design. It kind of reminds me of a storybook and whatnot. He says obey here, and then it's like approaching the house and whoosh, and then we see gorgeous face character art, beautiful here. Okay, and then we get these little like she's dreaming and stuff. Unravel me from the golden spider's web before I fade. All right. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the comic. I don't really have any critiques for it. Just wanted to mention it to you guys if you are looking for comics to read and whatnot. But yeah, I thought the art was really great. And I don't know if any of you guys has also seen this comic. But yeah, if not,
No.
worth
Yeah, it
checking.
does look beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I love the glowy art. I
Mm-mm.
love blue overlays. I'm a sucker for it.
Mm-hmm. And it's gonna be fantasy, which is up your realm, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm trying to get to what she's seeing here. Okay, she's like trying to calm herself down. How do you know me? Okay, you see a mask here. This is just someone snoring. She hides, and if I wear this mask, maybe I could get into the village unnoticed. And then someone appears. Okay. And then that's it. That is the title card. And that is episode 1. So again, if you guys are interested to check out these honorable mentions. But yeah, otherwise that's pretty much for all the comics I have to say for today. And
I want to say, Essen is in the chat, and Essen said that they submitted their comic, and we had a lot of submissions, so we can only do a few. But I would like to know what your comic is so that I can check it out.
Listen, why don't you head over to my channel? You can always, apply on that form as well.
That is true. Chainsaw is also gonna do a Webtoon roast soon. So if you guys couldn't make it for my Webtoon roast, consider checking out Chainsaw's Webtoon roast as well. But yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a form there. Fill it out, and yeah, just wait in line. I'll get you a comic.
Wait in line, right? Yeah. I mean, I apologize, everybody. Again, we only have 2 hours to go through this live stream, and I could only pick 4 for the whole live stream. So I know a lot of people were hoping that they would get to see their comic, but unfortunately, yeah, there's just too many to choose from. And yeah, this is all gonna be on Discord for easy finding and reading. Hell yeah. I'm gonna put it up on Discord later, and I'll even put it up on the description of the live stream. You guys can check it out later. And Nix is asking.
Essence is called Little Miss Allison.
Little Miss Allison Blue, yes. I've seen
Blue.
I've seen the comic, yeah. But again, I could only pick 4. So my bad, Essen.
Lose, you lose, Edison.
What else? Anything else should we address before we move on to our little Webtoon 2025 contest update? Sean says the honorable mentions are gorgeous. My faith is Noah, and I must attack my enemies with a stick. Nick says.
Yeah, that stick does some damage. For real.
Kai really liked the E-Boy comic. That's good. And what else?
I bet Boya's reading that E-Boy
Yeah.
comic right now.
I think so too.
Where she went. She went to go see him turn into an E-Boy.
I guess I'll ask chat as well. Which one out of all the comics we reviewed today, which one are you most likely to go read after
For real.
seeing the review?
Oh, I need to see how how that chick gets ripped apart, bro. So I'm gonna go read that comic.
Hell yeah.
I think I might go read that honorable mention one, the manga one. That one looked really good.
I mean, we definitely have a standout today, right? But also, don't forget to check out the other comics, even if you're just slightly interested, right? And don't forget to leave them a nice comment and subscribe and whatnot if you want to support them. But yeah.
Don't worry, guys. I'm not that mean. I'm not that mean. Trust me, guys.
He is. He's lying. Run.
Okay.
Nah, he's a smart.
All right.
I have a kid, guys. I'm a father, so I'm a nice guy.
I've known Chains for years now. He tries to act tough, but he's a sweetheart.
Yeah, he's a big goofball.
Just calling him a dog now. But yeah, let's.
Sorry
Guys,
if I ruined your brand. I mean, he's an asshole. That's what I meant to say.
guys, let's talk about the Webtoon 2025 contest. Let's get into it. For those of you who don't know, we did a live stream on Chainsaw's channel. We did a little shortlist forecast live stream before Webtoon announced their shortlisted winners. Their shortlisters. And we kind of made a little bet. Okay, we betted to see out of 10 comics, 5 to 10 comics we picked, whose comic would get picked. So let's go, guys. Let's get into that.
10's a bold number. I don't really remember anyone saying that.
Skits is angry about it, guys. He's a little bitter.
I mean, first of all, these are the shortlist comics. Yeah. There you go. These are the shortlist comics. And I am happy to say 2 of my predictions got in. One of them was my top pick, which is this Stupid Cupid comic, which I thought was great. And my other pick that got in was an honorable mention I made called Dandelion Tea. And yeah, I'm very happy I got 2 picks. What about you guys? What picks did you get?
I got The Keeper's Inn and Library of Infinity. I will say, since Skits is going to call me out, both of those were in my honorable mentions. But they were very good. But those 2 got in. And they were like, whenever we first did it, I read through all of the submissions that I could, almost all of them. And there were 3 more that were like in my larger list that I cut out to have a top 10. So that was kind of a bummer. I wish that I had put them in. I was like, dang, I was so close. I would have had 5.
Right. But what about
I'm gonna let you go, Chains.
Yeah.
Well, I only had one that was in my honorable mentions, which was Remanental. I think that's what it's called.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Remanental. I remember this one, yeah. Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
True.
I got 2.
Oh, let's hear it.
And was it my top 2 as well? Yes.
It's Naughty Land, guys. We know.
Right. we all knew Nutty Land was goated. I said it first, saying it day one.
Yeah, of
big
course.
fan.
Yeah, we
Of
told Tolt as soon as we started seeing them, you're gonna go all the way.
All right. What's your second
And
pick?
then my first, so actually, Tolt's Nutty Land was my second pick. My first pick, Friday Too Much Drama, was also picked. And you know, I don't know, there's something. I only picked 5 to begin with. I only needed 5 to match you guys, at least.
This is Friday Too Much.
But if we're going with 10, I would like to add 5 more into my list to make my number 7.
Well, you didn't do the work up front, Skits.
Whoa.
There we go. They're bickering. They're bickering.
On Change Stream, we said any in the top 10 count. Is what we said. It's not our fault that you only picked 7. Okay.
Pull the clip up. I don't believe you.
It's in there.
You be fair,
I
we
was
did.
sick and delirious half the time.
That's your fault. You want to lick kangaroo? That's what
You
Wait.
can't agree. You can't agree to the terms and then back out after we have a three-way tie. You can't do that.
I won. But like how would we break up the three-way tie? You know what I mean? I would say first we would eliminate honorable mentions. And then I win.
But you're friends with Tao. We're all friends
That
with
doesn't
Tao.
make any sense.
We didn't
knew-
agree
have-
to. We didn't
We
agree
knew he
to
was
weight
going to
them.
get it.
There
we
was no
personally
agreement to
know
weight them.
him at this point.
But I didn't do anything to make the comic. It was good. He just happens to be my friend too. It's not because he's my friend he won.
You got lucky, bro.
Lucky.
I think Glaze stole pretty hard on my streams, so that's probably also why he won.
We did make a bet though, and I mean, how are we gonna proceed with the punishment in the bet? What's the
I mean,
I
we
don't
can
think
all
you can
agree
use
that Chainsaw lost,
We
right?
should let chat decide,
Fair
honestly.
enough.
What, Sean? Sean says Skits wins. What the hell? Thought we
the
were
crown
homies.
don't lie.
Fair enough, fair enough.
But Apollo says, Jess, you can't bicker with people who have tiny crowns. Oh.
Pantheon just said that to me
snap.
about horns. I thought he was on my side. I thought I was gathering a small army in chat to back me up.
Nah.
Betrayal.
Nah, bro.
This is my audience now.
Well, guys, I guess overall, maybe Chainsaw. What punishment should we give Chainsaw? I don't even know.
I think it's clear that Chainsaw has to draw at least one art.
Yeah.
I get to draw a big teddy bitch. So what I gotta do?
I say we let chat throw out some options, and then the three of us will pick one, and we'll go with that.
Yeah, what do you think Chainsaw's punishment should be for losing?
Come on,
Since
chat,
there
give
was
us
no
some
clear
prompts.
winner.
In the meantime, while we wait for chat to decide, I just want to move on to let you guys do a quick self promo for yourself. If you have anything going on in your life right now that you would like to let the audience, the chat know, Chainsaw?
Sean, fuck you, bro.
Wait, what?
Sure.
Oh shit! That's a great suggestion.
Yeah, maybe Chains should draw some. What is it that Boya's been drawing? Fan
I
art
would
for?
like that. I would like
Oh
that.
my god. Fuck you.
That's
Sean.
great.
I like Sean's opinion.
I would love that. Me and Boya
Or, I mean,
are gonna be so
Yuuning
happy.
has BL characters.
No, don't draw my characters. I would like if Chainsaw drew his characters kissing or draw someone else's character kissing.
Okay, chat. What BL do you want Chains to draw?
Yeah, chat. Furries? Tell
Throw it
us it, furries. Let's go.
Furry BL, Chain's
Oh,
worst
yeah.
nightmare.
God, no. It just gets worse.
This is so good.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
It ought to be so fucking cursed, bro.
Hell yeah. I would love that.
Isn't there a Webtoon original that's a furry BL? What is it called?
I know there's
think
one
it has to
about
roll-
ice skating. Blades
Yeah,
of
there's
Fury.
an ice skating one.
Blades of
Yeah.
Fury.
Fucking ice skating, bro. Ice skating 30 BL.
I'm seeing something say alien stage fan art from Boya.
Alright.
Don't know what that is.
Okay.
Maybe
That's what Boya's
furry
drawing.
BL sounds good as well.
Furry BL is great. I concur. Let's do Furry BL punishment, everybody.
Oh my god.
What?
What
What do
very
you think, Jess?
let's-
You get to say too.
Oh, I think it might be too mean to Chains.
Okay, Jess, you can sit out for a second.
I'll take
You're gonna be
whatever.
overruled.
Come on, Chains. Come on.
Okay, we'll let chat decide one other thing besides this, and we'll pick between the two.
Whatever the chat says, I'll do it, man. I don't give
Do
a
we
fuck.
have a less mean to Chains option in the chat?
Anyone who likes chains in
I
the
thought it
chat,
was furry
speak
male
up
ice
now.
skate.
Anyone who likes Jane. Where's Elias when you need him? You know.
Oh shit.
You would have
Not
made me throw some really weird shit, bro.
Yeah, you would have loved this.
for real. Alright. But actually,
the fun
Chainsaw, before we decide on a
I think
verdict,
you're gonna have to put up a poll, Yuning, or something.
no,
Yeah, do a poll.
before we do that, Chain's self promo time. Let's go. Let's do a quick self promo and then we talk about that later. Before people leave and stuff. Do it. Let's go. What do you have exciting incoming for you?
Well, you can always head to my channel. I have a bunch of roasts happening, and obviously the new comic that I have, GXT, which will be probably continuing once Webtoon stops holding it at gunpoint. It should be done. It should be coming like November. So I'm just building my buffer up. Yeah, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But on my channel, all my links should be there. So
Yep. This
head
is
over there.
Chainsaw's comic called GXT. If you're interested to check it out, it's action fantasy. And yeah, check out Chainsaw's channel as well. That's where we did our Webtoon 2025 shortlist live stream. It's actually quite funny and I think definitely worth checking out.
Also,
And-
Yuning is in there as well. There's a
Yeah,
there's a Yuning
I'm
scene
in
going.
there.
Yuning cameo. Yeah.
Yuning cameo, yeah. Otherwise, if that's it, then let's do Jess. Do you have anything you would like to promote?
Oh yeah, boy.
Sure. You can follow me on Instagram. That's probably my most active social. And it's hobbish.comics. And I have a comic on Webtoon and Global Comics called The Curse of Bailey Bog. And I have a completed comic called The Witch's Stone on Webtoon and Global Comics too.
That's right, guys. Go check out The Curse of Bailey Bog and hobbish.comics Instagram. Very nice. Supernatural romance comic over here. And yeah.
Yeah, I love supernatural. I love romance. That's kind of the lane I stay in.
For sure. And yeah, let's move on to Skits. Skits, do you have anything you would like to promote for the people?
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Yeah, I've got a TikTok and Instagram, which has a couple that have some ongoing series. Going through how to make short comics, everywhere from 2 pages to 16 pages. And there'll be some cool stuff if you guys watch that K-pop Demon Hunter movie. You know, we're gonna do some cool stuff with that as well. And yeah, go follow me on those socials.
What's your social name? Username?
Skits dot comics, I would believe.
Do you want me to pull up my TikTok and see?
Yes, please.
TikTok, right? Yeah. TikTok has a bad search thing, but guys, skits.comics, if you would like to check out
It's
our
It's
fellow...
underscore comics on TikTok.
Oh
Skits
god,
underscore
okay.
comics.
Skits doesn't even know his own.
He just started. He just started.
I'm just a baby.
Sweet boy.
There you go.
Sweet boy.
There you go, guys. Go follow Skits Comics on TikTok and also on Instagram if you're interested to find out more about his webcomic content and his journey of becoming
He's gonna
an artist.
be.
Oh. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Jess got cut off. No, right?
Hello.
Oh.
I disconnected. Sorry.
Hey, it's my
Oh.
stuff.
Welcome back, welcome
It's
back.
Skit's fault because I opened up TikTok to see his username and then I accidentally closed the Discord.
I see.
My bad. I should have just done it.
It's
But,
okay.
yeah.
It's fine. I'm back.
But yeah, that's for Skits. And for me, honestly, I don't have much to promote. Just, subscribe if you like my content, comment, leave a like if you enjoy my stuff. And I have a book called Dear Alice if you would like to check it out. It's available on Amazon. And if you like BL, which we're gonna decide for Chains later on, I am working on a BL novel slash comic soon. It's not ready, but it will be out when it's out. You can go check it out on my Instagram actually. Yuuning Art on Instagram.
Oh my God, bro.
Only if
Monetary
you
incentive
like
to do
some
Boyo's
BL
request.
stuff.
An extra dollar
Yeah,
in the
this
pot
is-
for
And if
everyone.
you're a true
Shushing
Yuuning
face
fan, you would
emoji.
check out
Smiley
Slice
face
of the
emoji.
Roommates, because this is legendary.
That's okay with
Fine.
that one.
The first Yuuning comic.
Yeah, it's okay with that
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
guys. You can just
That
check out my
ass.
Instagram and just watch my YouTube videos if you're interested in stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it on my end. So, just the last minute as well. If you haven't seen last year's Webtoon Rose, which I did with Chainsaw and Jess as well, feel free to take a look if you would like to learn more about art and stuff. Also, thank you, Sin, again for the 5. Oh my god, we got another 5. And Sin wants us to take Boya's request because he paid 5 Aussie dollars for it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Because boys request.
BL Furry, buddy.
BL Furry, buddy. Someone
look,
paid
We
for
bend
it.
easy to money.
Someone paid for
Fair
it.
enough. I
But
mean,
yeah.
we're splitting the cash anyway. It's fine. I'll take it.
I'll even give you my $2.
Yeah, you can have my $2 or yours.
But yeah, check out last year's stream highlights videos if you can, and feel free to join the Discord. We are all a community. Most of the people in the chat are also on Discord. We talk about webcomics. We love art. We have weekly art jam sessions every week on Discord. And if you are looking for a community, feel free to check it out. Link is in the description for the Discord invite link.
Yeah, Art Jam is really
Oh
fun.
my God,
if anyone
bro.
wants to join.
I can't believe I missed
yeah.
Sunday
everything.
mornings if you're an
Disappointed face
American.
emoji.
Sunday afternoon if you're in the European time zone.
Don't do it
Also-
if you're Australian.
Also,
Yeah.
what? Thank you, Meow. Thank you for the 5 Canadian. Damn, let's go. I
Yeah,
can't
you do
believe
it.
I missed everything. No, it's okay.
I'll start with the BL 30 stuff tomorrow. It's no gay Sundays, guys. I can't do it. I can't do it today.
That's good.
Hey, we need to recruit a Canadian for the Discord. So if you want to
Oh, yeah.
join, yeah.
Meow, feel free to check out the link in the description. And thanks again
Can we
for.
collect the French as well? Is there French out there? Or
Yeah, we
French?
have any?
We are
French-
not collecting
French men's or
people.
We're trying to get every country. We're trying to get every country like Pokemon.
These people are not Pokemons, guys.
That's what you said. You told me they were Pokemon.
That's what you said. That's what you said, bro.
In the context of reading Webtoon, guys. In the context
You said,
of
I'm
reading
starting
Webtoon.
this. You said I'm starting this Discord to collect them all. That's what you said.
Yeah.
The audience are the Pokemons, not Discord members.
Call
Rude.
the audience Pokemons? Capture them?
You captured them.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
Crazy.
But yeah, do you guys have anything else you would like to talk about before we pretty much have to end the live stream, right?
Just want to say I had a good time reading all those comics, and I had a good time doing the stream. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had so much fun, bro.
Yeah, I think chat was awesome, you know?
Chat is so
Very funny.
supportive.
Kept me laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fucking hell. bro.
Like
I gotta
you
go.
guys
BL
also
first.
yeah, BL
Thanks,
Furry.
Sean.
Thank you for the suggestion,
that fire.
Sean. Beautiful. And thank you, Sin, for cementing it with the 5. But yeah, let me just look at chat really quick one last time. Perry Pictures is about to get
screenshot.
coffee. Perry Pictures does not know that we're leaving soon. Oh shit. And also true, everybody is now talking about K-pop Demon Hunters, right?
Yeah.
Great show. And Della said, if it wasn't for art fight, I'd probably draw fan art by now. Hell yeah. Good luck on your art fight, by the way, everybody. If you're joining this year, good luck on it. And let's see. Let's see. Apollo wants to be collected. Also, hi Iris. Unfortunately, we are leaving soon. And does Boya want more freaky pinos in the server? Sure, why not? She has a
I want to
board.
collect Apollo. I need more Southerners.
This was fun. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, true. Jess needs a Southerner. Someone to match that
I have
accent.
Basil and Maddie, but they're Texans, and that's a little different, you know.
I
But
just
I
like
also-
that southern accent. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Me and Apollo got that in spades.
I also like that you all have an accent here, right? Jess got that Southern accent, Chainsaw got that South African accent, and then Skits got that Aussie accent. It's beautiful. It's
We're
so
like the
diverse.
You know.
It's a diverse,
Yep.
beautiful accent world we live in. But yeah,
We're so inclusive.
but yeah.
Hell yeah.
If there's nothing else, then I think we're gonna have to end the stream here. And yeah, I just want to say once again, thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for the feedback, for the comics as well, and also just the donations that we received just now. I really, really appreciate it. Definitely keeps the streams going and whatnot. And yeah, if you would like to see more of this in the future, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and check out my fellow panel judges' social media and whatnot, and check out their comics. Yeah. Till then, I think that's it. I'll see you guys, right? I'll see you guys next time. Next stream, same time, Wednesday, an hour earlier. Guys, say bye to them. Bye-bye.
Oh, bye, friends.
Bye.
See you next
Bye,
year,
everybody.
please.
Bye-bye.
again.
Chainsaw, say bye.
I said bye. Bye, guys. I
He's
gotta
mad.
go.
He's mad now.
Don't get mad at the
Good
audience,
job,
Chainsaw.
chat. Good job, chat.
Good job, good job. For real, for real. I'm so excited for it. BL furry art. Let's go. Okay, bye. For
And you
real,
know
for
what?
real.
And you guys know I'm gonna go all in on it, so it's gonna look good. And fucking hell, bro. Fuck.
All right.
I'm excited.
Got it.
My
Bye.
33 is gonna be cursed. It's gonna be fucking cursed, bro.
All right. See you guys. Bye bye.